What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And you know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 viewer requests stacked up. So for the next several days, you're going to see a lot of viewer requests. Then I'll do a few more Secrets of Strixhaven deck techs. So without further ado, let's get into the first of this giant daily marathon. And we have Zetalpa Primal Dawn viewer request. So, first and foremost, I'm going to apologize in advance. For whatever reason, my brain does not function correctly when I talk about Zetalpa. Half the time, I want to say Zetalpa. So, I just want to get that out of the way now, because I know I'm going to mess it up, and somebody is going to say something in the comments. It's okay. I know that my brain is rotted away. So, who is Zetalpa Primal Dawn? It's a 4/8 for 6 generic and double white. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. It's got a bunch of keywords on it, and it costs 8. It's a big burb. Very, very big burb. So, what we want to do today is, and what we are going to do today is, rather than go dinosaur themed or something like that, we are going to make Zetalpa the star of the show. And we're in mono white, so we're going to have to find ways to make Zetalpa the star of the show without it getting obliterated immediately. So how are we going to do that? By the way, this is also a super cheap commander at 49 cents. Pretty good and affordable. Well, we got 20 creatures here. Lots of them. And a lot of them do the exact same thing. I'm going to go through this exact same thing right now. So we do have a couple mana dorks. That's our Palladium Myr, which taps for double colorless, or our Gold Myr, which taps for white. But then we have a whole bunch of mana ramp dudes. We have Burnished Heart. You play it, you sack it, you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped. Also has some very nice and cool art. Flame Jumper. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you can search your library for a plains card. It doesn't have to be basic. This is a note for if you're playing not mono white. It doesn't have to be a basic plains. And put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then if an opponent controls more lands than you, repeat this process once. If you search your library this way, shuffle your library. So it can get you up to 2 plains cards. We have Deep Gnome Terramancer, Mold Earth. Whenever one or more lands enter the battlefield under an opponent's control without being played, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Do this only once each turn. This is pretty good. If your opponents are all ramping, you get to also ramp. Pretty fun. Deep Gnome Terramancer is about $11, so not the most budgety little land ramp spell out there. You know what? We'll just go over Geode Golem next because he kind of does the same thing. Rather than ramp out lands, what he does is he's a 5/3 for 5. He has Trample, and when he deals combat damage to a player, you may cast your commander from the command zone without paying its mana cost. So, just flops out the old Zetalpa. Ah, I said it right. We have Keeper of the Accord. At the beginning of each of your opponent's end steps, if a player controls more creatures than you get a soldier. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls lands than you get to search your library for a basic plains card, and put on the tap, then shuffle. We have Kinjali's Color, lowers the cost of your dinosaurs by 1. We have 1 dinosaur in the deck, and it's our commander. Knight of the White Orchid, first strike. When it enters, if an opponent controls lands, you get to search for a plains card, put on the battlefield, not tapped, and then shuffle. Core Cartographer, if it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a plains card, put on the battlefield, tapped. We have Loyal Warhound. When it enters and an opponent controls more lands, you get to search your library for a basic plains card, put on the battlefield tapped. You seeing a theme here, friends? Oreskos Explorer. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for X plains cards, where X is the number of players who control more lands than you. Reveal those cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. So this is ramp to hand. We have another mana dork in Ornithopter of Paradise. Weathered Wayfarer lets you search your library for a land card. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if an opponent controls lands in you. This is pretty cool because we are running not Arid Mesa, the one Mesa in here. Where is it? Sorry. Spoilers. Arid Archway in here, which is a double tap land. We also are running some utility cards in here. We have Solemn Simulacrum, which does ramp, and then you also get to draw when it dies. Windborn Muse, which ghostly prisons, so that way people aren't just beating your face in while you're waiting to get Zetalpa out. Wall of Omens, which is when this creature enters, draw a card. So you just got a little 0/4 wall that nets you a card. Thins your deck, as some might say. Same with Spirited Companion, draws you a card. We have Mangara the Diplomat, lifelink, and whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or your planeswalkers, which we don't have any, you get to draw a card. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. And then we have Archivist of Ogma, which is flash, and whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So a little bit of card value as well there. So as you can see, our entire creature package is designed to either draw us cards or fetch us lands, except for 1, which is here to ensure that we don't die immediately. Sorceries. Well, Zetalpa takes a little while to get out there, right? And once our little ETB effects on our creatures are done, we don't really need them. And so, you know what? We don't want our opponents to have a lot of things either. We don't want them to have nice, happy, fun things. So we're going to blow them up. And how are we going to blow them up? We're going to blow them up with Day of Judgment, destroy all creatures. Doomscar, which you can foretell for 2 and then cast for 3, destroy all creatures. Wrath of God, the original, the great, the awesome, destroy all creatures and they can't be regenerated. Shatter the Sky, each player who controls a creature of power 4 or greater draws a card. Then destroy all creatures. Bonus points if you already have Zetalpa out, because then you get to draw a card before you blow up everybody else's stuff. And of course, Fumigate, destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. Oh yes, and then Austere Command, which is choose 2. Sorry, 1 second. Destroy all artifacts, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creature mana value 3 or less, or destroy all creatures of mana value 4 or greater. We do have a couple cards in here which are not blow everything up cards, and those would be Cut a Deal. Each opponent draws a card, then you draw a card for each opponent who drew a card this way. Again, card advantage, help us dig through our deck, get some more of our ramps, some more lands, some more of our blow everything up spells. Gift of Estates, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for 3 plains cards, or up to 3 plains cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. We also then have Secret Rendezvous, which is you and target opponent each draw 3 cards. Yes, your opponent gets cards, but you can as well. Give it to that opponent that you don't want to kill you. Politic away, friends. Then we have ourselves some instants. We have Brave the Elements, choose a color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. We have Flare of Fortitude, which you sacrifice a creature, makes your stuff indestructible, and hexproof until end of turn. We do have some removal with Generous Gift, Stroke of Midnight, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares. We do have some enchantment removal with Return to Dust. 1 second, friends. Sorry about that, friends. I'm back. We've got ourselves Return to Dust, exile target artifact or enchantment, and if you cast this spell during your main phase, you can exile up to 1 more. We have God's Willing, Sajiri, Shelter, and Rebuff the Wicked, and Shelter all in here for and Brave the Elements, all for the same thing, to give protection for Zetalpa, because although it cannot be destroyed because it is indestructible, it can be exiled. So giving it protection from certain colors is very good. Giving Shelter, you know, like gives you protection from the color and lets you draw a card. Rebuff the Wicked is counter a spell that targets a permanent you control. So those are in there as spot protection for Zetalpa. Sorry, Zetalpa. Ah, I did it. No! Then we have our artifacts. We have Archaeomancer's Map. When it enters, search your library for up to 2 plains cards, put them into your hand. Whenever a land an opponent controls enters, if that player controls more lands than you, you may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. Alright. Now, we do have our own ways of mana accelerants in this as well. So we have Archaeomancer's Map. We have Caged Sun. When it enters, you name a color. Whenever a land's ability causes you to add 1 or more mana of the chosen color, add 1 additional mana of that color. We have Extraplanar Lands. You imprint a plains on it, and then your plains will get to add for an additional white. We have Hedron Archive, taps for 2. We have ourselves Thran Dynamo, taps for 3. Worn Power Stone, taps for 2. Pearl Medallion, reduces cost by 1. Soul Ring, adds 1 in there. Stonekeeper Crystal, adds for 2. Wayfarer's Bauble lets you search. Again, our commander is extremely expensive, and we want to be able to play it more than once if the worst should happen. So, gotta have lots of ramp. We do have Blackblade Reforged. Since we are ramping, it'll get +1/+1 for each land you control, and only equips to it for 3. We do have Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots to give haste and protection to our Zetalpa. We have Inquisitor's Flail, which is if it would deal combat damage, it deals double that damage instead, which is hilarious on a double strike creature. So say it swings in for 4, that does 8 on the first strike, and then 8 on the second strike, and if another creature would deal combat damage to the equipped creature, it deals double that damage, but that doesn't really matter because it's an indestructible creature. And unless they have, you know, something to remove indestructibility, you know, we should be golden. Up. We're gonna be golden. Oh, can't tell you how many times I've watched that movie with my daughter. We have Quiet as Spike. Equipped creature has Death Touch, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. Again, Zetalpa does have double strike, so the first strike damage will hit half somebody's life total rounded up, and then hit again, which will half their life or their new life total rounded up. It's a pretty fun thing to do. We have Whisper Silk Cloak. Equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. And then our enchantments. We have Flowering in the White Tree, which I love. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1. And have Ward. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Non-legendaries get +1/+1. It turns your little mana ramp dorks into not so little mana ramp. We have Monologue Tax. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, create a treasure. This is technically a bracket 3. I did put a game changer in here specifically because I felt it's necessary to get the mana out there. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If they don't, you get a treasure. It just puts you on some inevitability. We have Land Tax, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls lands, then you can search your library for up to 3 basics, reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your library. And then Solid Footing, the Soul Aura in here. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. And it has Vigilance, and it assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And when Zetalpa is a 4/8, it's got a big old booty. So, you know, what's better than smacking for 4 double strike? Smacking for 8 double strike. Lands, we already spoiled that we have Arid Archway in the deck. We also have Homeward Path, because someone could take control of your Zetalpa, and you do not, under any circumstances, want to get beat down with your own commander. That's just embarrassing, friends. Having had it happen to me in several different decks, I have started playing Homeward Path in a lot of them. We have Myriad Landscape for some fetch. We have Rogue's Passage to make Zetalpa unblockable, and War Room, which you can pay 3 and then pay life equal to the number of colors in your commander's color identity and draw a card. So pay 1, draw a card. Not too bad. Overall, I think it's a pretty fun deck. There's obviously ways to cheapen it down to below $100, especially when the commander's 49 cents. So, let's take you over to our handy-dandy playtesting opening hand thing, and here we go. As always, my extra-wide monitor does not fit well with the whole thing, with the deck text, etc., and OBS, so we do have a little bit of Brave the Elements cut off here, and off. So here's a opening hand. We have ourselves 3 lands, 4 spells, pretty cheap spells at that. We're gonna go ahead, take our first turn. We have Sajiri Shelter, which of course is a MDFC, so you can always tap it as land, but we don't need to do that right now. We'll play a Plains, play our next turn out. We'll play another Plains. Now we'll say on our opponent's turn, they, you know, went to fetch, so we're going to play Archivist of Ogma. So then that lets us draw a card, gain a life. Look at that, we have another land. We go to our next turn. We play a Plains. Usually people aren't going to have a threat at this point in time, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to foretell this. And this over. That is a foretold Doomscar. We're not having to do too much there. You know, say somebody else searches on their turn, whatever. And then it gets to our turn. Now, we're already doing quite well. We're going to play our Myriad Landscape in tapped, and we're going to play this Palladium Myrrh. We're already sitting nicely. We have a button on the board. We have a card draw engine, and we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, 7 available once we tap our Myriad Landscape and take our next turn. So we take our next turn. Obviously, here we have Plains. Now, this gives us a lot of options. What I would do is I would play this Worn Power Stone for, you know, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. I would then pop my Myriad Landscape. Let me view my library here. Grab 1 Plains. Grab 2 Plains. Yes, they're tapped. And then here, we'll see if this works. we'll take our next turn. So, we have our available turn here. We have ramped a bunch. We have 6 basics on board, 7 with the land that we play this turn, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So we're going to use the colorless mana, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are going to play Zetalpa. So this still leaves us with 3 mana up, and that has Brave the Elements and Rebuff the Wicked and Sejiri's Shelter all available for us to play to protect. If you really want to, if you want to be a cheeky bugger and somebody has a big board state, you can go ahead and destroy all your creatures. Alright, let's try another hand, shall we? Again, we are looking at a good amount of lands. We have War Room, Plains. We have Kinjali's Collar, Rebuff the Wicked. You know, we can play this slow and by ear. So we'll draw. I'd put a Plains down and a land tax. We're probably not first. This is important with land tax. Don't, unless you're really confident in your ability to get a lot of lands, try not to discard 3 lands per turn. It's pretty awkward, right? So on our next turn, we draw, we'd view our library. We'll say we'll get 2, right? Because we plan on playing a card this. Close and shuffle. Those are in our hand now. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. We're going to play our Plains. And we're going to play a Kinjali Collar. That puts us down to 7. Pretty good there. And then we take our next turn, of course. We can drop this. Drop Whisper's Cloak. And you can just proceed as needed. This is a little bit slower turn. If you want to, you can do this and 3. And just do it. And we'll do 1 more. And this one is a little bit slower, as you can see. We are only starting with 2 lands. So we're going to start our turn. We play a Plains. Look at that. We lucked out. Friends, have I ever told you about the time that at a Legacy GP in St. Louis, it was either a GP or a Star City Games 5K, I kept a 1-land hand with Zoo and won on turn 3. Pretty sick technology there. We play Plains. Next turn, we're going to play Plains. We're going to play Deep Gnome Terramancer because people do like to ramp. We're going to say that during that turn, somebody ramps. And so we get to ramp shuffle. And there we are. We have 3. So then it comes to our turn. We play a Plains. And now we can play a Goldmer and our Ornithopter of Paradise on this turn. Or alternatively, and probably better, if you want to, you can run out your Smothering Tithe, taxing opponent. But yeah. So that was the Zetalpa deck here with a few opening hands. As always, you know, if you want to see your commander made, you can add it to my ever-expanding list. You can give me budget options, like on here, I have a second Doctor deck coming up where they want the deck under $200. I have a Toscana deck where they want it about $200, bracket 3, and have certain cards in it. Put all of those stipulations in your comments down below or the Google form, and I will get that done for you. If you think that I'm doing a good job and like my content, but only if you feel I'm doing a good job, please feel free to subscribe. We are up to like 1,570 subscribers, which is super cool because, you know, I started this as a hobby back in June. I never imagined that it'd get this big. And I know some people will be like, oh, but there's people who get like 10,000 in 3 weeks. And I'm like, that's cool. But like, I just kind of do the slow burn thing. I just kind of do my thing. But as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.